Merry Christmas. So right now it is Christmas Eve, and today I'm going to read you a book for you guys to celebrate this event. This book is called Mr. Men, A Christmas Extravaganza. Little Miss Trouble is a real handful of trouble, and there is no time when she is more of a handful than at Christmas. There are just so many chances for Little Miss Trouble to cause trouble. Do you know what she's doing? Last Christmas, Little Miss Trouble pinched a slice of Little Miss Neat's Christmas cake and blamed it on Mr. Greedy. Little Miss Neat was not very happy with Mr. Greedy. She told Little Miss Splendid that Mr. Quiet had said that she looked like a Christmas tree in that hat. Little Miss Splendid was not very happy with Mr. Quiet. And Little Miss Trouble sent Mr. Chatterbox a huge gobstopper, pretending it was a Christmas present from Little Miss Chatterbox. Needless to say, the Chatterbox's Christmas was not as chatty as usual. So when it came to the auditions for Little Miss Bossy's Christmas extravaganza, Aladdin, it will come as no surprise to hear that she did not get a part. "I know what you're like," said Little Miss Bossy. "You'll just be trouble from start to finish." Little Miss Trouble went home in a foul mood. "Trouble," she muttered to herself. "I'll show her trouble." Little Miss Bossy was very pleased with the rest of the auditions. Little Miss Star got to play the part of Aladdin. Little Miss Sunshine was to play the princess. Mr. Mean would be the evil wizard. Mr. Small, the genie of the lamp. And Mr. Grumpy, a perfect widow Twankey. However, Little Miss Bossy was not so pleased once rehearsals got underway. Someone put itching powder in Widow Twankey's wig. Someone told the princess that Aladdin had said she wasn't pretty enough to be a princess. Know who that is? Someone put an egg in the evil wizard's curly slipper. Someone glued the lid of the magic lamp shut and the genie could not get out. And someone put a mouse in Aladdin's cave, and Aladdin proved to be less brave than everyone had assumed. It was a disaster, and Little Miss Bossy knew exactly why it had been a disaster. That evening she went round to Little Miss Trouble's house. "Okay, I give up," said Little Miss Bossy. "You can have a part in the Christmas extravaganza." "Truly?" said Little Miss Trouble. "Which part?" "Just turn up on the opening night and you'll find out," replied Little Miss Bossy. "Do you think you know what it is?" On the opening night of Aladdin, Little Miss Trouble was so excited that she barely knew what to do with herself. She turned up early to discover which part she was to play. Little Miss Trouble couldn't wait to see her costume. Just before the start of the performance, Little Miss Bossy called the cast together. "I thought Little Miss Trouble was going to be here tonight," said Little Miss Sunshine. "Oh, she is," said Little Miss Bossy. "Where is she?" asked Mr. Mean, looking around the dressing room. Little Miss Bossy grinned. "It's a horse." "Over here," came a muffled reply from the back of the horse. "Keep still," said Little Miss Stubborn at the front. Well, thanks for listening to Mr. Men, A Christmas Extravaganza. Well, we have a second book today because it is a special event. So here it is. It is called Mr. Men, The Night Before Christmas. It was the night before Christmas, Christmas Eve, and everyone was prepared for Christmas Day. Everyone except for Mr. Wrong, who thought it was the night before his holiday. Probably going somewhere hot when it's like summer and Christmas. Christmas and summer, I guess. All the Mr. Men had decorated their Christmas trees, except for Mr. Model, who had decorated himself. and everyone had sent their letter to Father Christmas in good time, except for little Miss Late, who had only sent her letter that morning. Would it get to Father Christmas in time? In each house the Christmas cakes were baked. Mr. Greedy had sensibly baked 3, one for Christmas Eve and one for Christmas Day, and one because you never know when you might feel peckish. In each house the stockings were hung by the chimney in the hope that Father Christmas would soon be there. Mr. Small was not entirely sure it was fair that you had to hang up your own stocking. Yeah, there are advantages and disadvantages in that situation, I guess. And in each house the presents were wrapped. Little Miss Naughty's friends went for quite a surprise. Look, it's a spider! The carol singers had sung at each house. Little Mr. Noisy had loosened some tiles with his ding-dong merrily on high. Oof! At the North Pole, Little Miss Christmas had wrapped presents from dawn to dusk, but finally the sleigh was packed. Father Christmas and Mr. Christmas sneaked in a quick cup of tea, waved goodbye to Little Miss Christmas, and then they were away. But would they stop at Little Miss Late's house? It was the night before Christmas, and all through the land not a Mr. Man was stirring, not even Little Miss Chatterbox. They were all dreaming about a visit from Father Christmas. Mr. Greedy was nestled all snug in his bed with visions of turkey and sprouts dancing in his head. Everybody was fast asleep. Everybody? Well, not quite everybody. Little Miss Late was laying in bed worrying about whether her Christmas letter had arrived in time. And then in the distance she heard the tinkle of sleigh bells. Little Miss Late jumped out of bed and ran to the window just in time to see a sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer swoop low over her garden. She knew in an instant it must be Father Christmas. She held her breath and listened. The sleigh disappeared out of sight, the tinkle of bells faded, and then grew stronger as Father Christmas and Mr. Christmas circled over Little Miss Late's house and glided to a halt on her roof. She heard the patter of little hoofs, the sound of heavy footsteps above her head, and knew the letter had arrived in time. Little Miss Late dashed down to her living room just as Father Christmas and Mr. Christmas emerged from the fireplace. Father Christmas was dressed all in red from his head to his foot with a bundle of toys on his back. He took a parcel from his sack and placed it in her stocking. "And here's something for next year," said Mr. Christmas, laying a present beside the Christmas tree. And then, with a grin and a wink, they disappeared back up the chimney. Little Miss Late looked at the present that Mr. Christmas had left her. Can you guess what it was? Can you guess what it was? It was an advent calendar to help her remember when to post her letter to Father Christmas next year. Well, thanks for listening to me read Mr. Men at Christmas Extravaganza and Mr. Men the Night Before Christmas. Stay tuned for Christmas Day, and we'll see you next time. Bye!